25th, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Indianapolis, Houston, and now. Yeah. Black Ink Radio.
Tap into Oracle Connect, your spiritual plug that is here to give you love. That is here to give you the motivation. That is here to give you the positivity. That is here to give you the information to allow you to tap into the greatest version of you. Let's get it. Hey, so tap into Oracle Connect and subscribe to her vibe, because the Oracle teleports higher vibrations and gives the information to empower a nation. That is the power that she possesses as the Oracle. So you want to make sure you stay tuned, because she will always deliver the message straight from the cosmos and put the power back into you. Oracle Connect, time to activate. Let's get it.
Girl, high heels, not for the shoes, but for the healing of energy, the teleportation of higher vibrations. Get with it. You are listening to Oracle Connect on Black Ink Radio. Welcome. So we on week 2 now. How you doing today, Rich? I hit him real quick. He like, oh, you already talking to me? Yeah.
Right, I wasn't ready. I'm good, though. How are you?
I'm beautiful. You guys stay ready with me. Period.
I mean, yeah, you have me doing a whole bunch of new shit this week, so.
I mean, but this what you're supposed to do. I'm supposed to keep you on your toes. That's what an oracle does as well.
I ain't mad at you.
An oracle, it brings you into a place where you're going to elevate yourself. That's like the whole point. The teleportation of higher vibrations. Get with it.
That is fine.
Get with it.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we're here to do. We make life better. So I have.
Harder or better? Which one was it?
Better. Because look.
Mind your business.
The growth comes through the challenge.
I'm just playing with you, man.
I know.
I challenge myself every day. Don't take me too serious.
I know, no.
Right. I just have fun with people who take things too serious like you.
I don't take things too serious.
I
love the way I take myself serious.
That's good.
But yeah, anywho, do you think I take myself too seriously?
Sometimes.
Yes, I know.
Everybody does that, you know.
Right.
It's a point where everybody takes something too serious that another person will feel like it's frivolous.
So do we feel like it's frivolous what I take serious? These are deep conversations. This is examining. Actually, I know that I'm that way. I'm very conscious of myself, and I know that I always say to people, I know I'm a handful. I know I can be difficult at times, but there's a purpose. And once you've handled my handful, you can handle any other type of handful that comes to you. And all of the things that I'm saying to you or doing to you right now that's getting on your nerves, you be like, why is she doing all this? At the end, you'll be better. Trust me. You know.
Period. Going through the gauntlet.
Yeah, you might not like me that much. I'm not sure. It depends on what kind of growth you're willing to have in your life. But so today, let's introduce my special guest host. I have none other than Jefferson of Abstract, also co-owner of Star Status Store and the New Black Wall Street. Just greet everybody. Tell everybody hello.
Peace to Black Ink Radio Land. Peace to the world.
Period.
We up in here. We're gonna see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Just a pre. I told him the topic, and he was like, "That's what we talking about today." Like, yes, that's what we talking about today. Yes, get with it. So, I do have a fun topic, and it was something that I saw online. It's fun.
That is not fun.
It's a think piece.
That's more like fucked up.
It's a think piece.
Let's go.
Well, because the whole purpose of this show, I say, is to also have a conscious, like, spiritual perspective and really like be solution driven. Like, yes, this is stuff that everybody's talking about. Yes, it could be like gossipy, but I feel like with any kind of drama, there is a solution within that. And if we can find the solution, that's how we grow and we are better as people. Yes. So period. I found this online. And it is a man who he had a real question for the public. He says, so my girlfriend had our baby 12 weeks ago. I love my girlfriend and even planned on proposing to her. She lost the baby weight, but her stomach is covered in stretch marks and is saggy. It's hard for me to be intimate with her because it's a turnoff. I offered to help pay for surgery to fix it, but she says no every time. I'm at a point where I am ready to break up with her. I will be there 100% for the child, just not with her anymore. Am I wrong for wanting to break up for this? So, I'm not even going to answer whether or not I think he's wrong. I think that is irrelevant to the point of why I brought this to the table. And I will ask the gentlemen if they want to answer that. But first and foremost, I just had to evaluate, like, how did we get here as people that a man is willing to leave his girlfriend because her body changed after bringing his baby into the world? Like, I'm trying to understand how that makes sense. Like, what do you guys feel about his choice to leave?
I think that the world is plastic.
Plastic.
There's a lot of people who are emulating Barbie doll motifs as far as body-wise, when they could have a natural body. You know, I mean, what he did was very, individualistic. But I mean, then again, he's an individual, so you can't control what people do.
Right.
You know?
So do you feel like we've gotten to a place that having the surgery and having the fake body, or what's the better word than fake?
The BBL, they call it?
Yeah, have we gotten to a place where the body is being created so much that we can't appreciate the natural body? Because
I think it's just a certain sector of people who are like that. And that might be the popular sector as well. But there's still people who are always going to be in tune to natural bodies or just naturally shaped women. I mean, you're never going to lose that.
Yes. I just feel like, it was interesting. I was watching The Wash, right? And there's one girl on there, she's like a big video girl of that time. And I remember back then, we was like, she got the biggest booty. Like, she was just known for having a big old booty. But when I was watching The Wash, I was like, damn, her booty really ain't that big. But I realized it's because... Yeah, right. Because we used to the other...
What are you talking about?
I don't know her name. She's on The Wash. She was on like Nelly videos. She was the receptionist. Yeah, the receptionist at The Wash.
Oh, the movie The Wash.
Yeah, The Wash.
Okay.
Yeah, when she, The Wash.
I know you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't know her name either, but I know you're talking about.
Right, but she was known for having like the biggest booty back then.
That was natural back then.
Yeah, back then everything was a little more natural.
It wasn't no such thing as a beach.
I mean,
there was butt shots.
They was
They were just a lot more expensive. I mean, everybody couldn't afford it.
Yeah, all the strippers had it.
Yeah.
Like all the ones at Jazzy T's had the ass shots back in the day. In the gentleman's club. But I mean, so what do you think, Rich? Like,
I feel like this goes back to a conversation I had before. I feel like that, number one, you need to know who you with. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he's an individual. We can't fault him for what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Number two, if you're in a relationship, you got to learn to compromise. So at the end of the day, you did have a kid with this man. And if that's the type of person he is, because you didn't do your research before you had a kid with him, now you stuck with this is what he wants and what are you going to do about it? You understand what I'm saying? So we do live in a world where that's very normalized. So it's nothing wrong with him wanting that. Excuse me. But I feel like it just goes back to not having enough conversations and not enough planning. If you know you're about to have a kid, you know what happens to women after a kid. Right. That should have been a conversation between them before they even had a baby.
Right.
They should have spoke about it. Look, yes, you're not going to have the same body. I'm not going to be attracted to just anybody. So I think that we need to talk about what we're going to do, you know what I'm saying, postpartum.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think it's just a big situation where there's not enough conversation. There's no real dating going on no more. So it's not enough conversation before sex. You understand what I'm saying? So you actually really don't even know the person that you with, and that's when these things come about. So for them, it had been a lot more problems, especially if she didn't want to get her body done. Most girls' biggest problem is the nigga won't pay for it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He's willing to pay for it, but you don't even want to do it. So y'all not even on the same playing field.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She's a certain type of woman. He's a total different type of man. So I just feel like it should be more conversations ahead of time. That's it. That's how I feel.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, really, for me, when I first saw that, my perspective was like, that's ridiculous. Like, why would that even be a conversation? Why would you tell me to get surgery? But I guess we do have to accept what you were saying. Like, this is the time that we're in. Right. We're in a time where people are getting their body done, and you don't have to be natural. It's a choice now to be natural. So I guess these are conversations that we need to have, which I'm going to be real with you. I think it's ridiculous that we do have to have that conversation. But if we want to make ourselves better and have relationships be better, then this is the time. We have to have conversations about the natural body.
No. See, the thing is
like the postpartum body.
No, you wouldn't. Let me tell you something. If you had the right conversations, you wouldn't have had to talk about that, because you would have got to a road that would have told y'all are not compatible.
Right.
So you wouldn't have to talk about dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you'd have just talked about, I gained a little bit of weight, and he was like, well, if you gain weight with me, that's not going to be acceptable. Right. You know what's going to happen if you have a kid. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
So I feel like the normal conversation that comes along with dating is just not happening anymore. People are skipping dating and they fucking.
And it's having sex.
So at the end of the day, as soon as I meet you, we're dating, or we're doing what we think is dating. And that's why it's like, as soon as we go on 1 or 2 dates or whatever we did, it's like if you see me with another woman, I'm already cheating, and we ain't even discussed nothing.
Right.
But the problem is we don't have sex already.
Right.
So you already feel like I'm yours or you're mine, and now it's like, there's all these rules when we didn't even discuss shit.
You're right. We just jumped in. Jumped in.
People need to start dating again.
It's the instant gratification era, though. That's because we're stuck in instant gratification.
And I'm gonna be honest, most of the people who wouldn't like what he's saying are the ones who's causing this error. Because it's more of the free people, the free thinking people, who are instant gratification type people, because y'all feel like, hey, we should be free, do what you like, do what you feel. But then that comes along with some shit with other people jumping into your field that ain't on the same page as you, but they enjoying that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? If you like me like that, we could just fuck and be free, and that's what we doing? We might not be on the same mindset, but I like that part of it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just got to be careful who you let in that world.
Yeah. You said free thinking like who? Me?
Conscious people.
So conscious people were.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming conscious people.
This is cool.
I'm just saying that conscious people are real big believers in do what you feel.
Yes, do as thou wilt.
Right. Yes. So if thou wilt be in the club and meet a nigga you want to fuck tonight, you're gonna fuck.
Well, but see, the thing is, I get it, but the thing is that we do as thou wilt, right? We fulfill our purpose, our pleasures, but because you're at you should have grown to a certain place of consciousness where you know what's right and wrong. And you take time to be sensible and present and knowledgeable about what you do before you do it. So we typically, if you are conscious, that means you are aware. That means you are thinking before you move, thinking before you speak, pausing, talking to spirit before you make decisions. Like
none of these things are being taught to the people that don't know nothing about what you're talking about.
Right, and that's
all they hearing is, oh, these type of women, they be with it. If the vibe is right, they with it. That's all they care about. The vibe is right, they're with it.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up because they're not doing any research on these type of women.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now when you get a woman like that and she's like, well, no, I love my body and I will not change it because I had a kid. Now he looking at like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But y'all not on the same page. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a bunch of things that people dive into because they don't know everything about it. But one part sounds good: polygamy. Most men, I'm with that. But you don't know what the hell comes along with that.
Right.
Because some parts of polygamy allow your same girlfriend that you want to have 3 girlfriends. Some parts of polygamy allow them to have other boyfriends. Are you ready for that?
Right.
My nigga, is you ready for your girl to have a man?
You know what I'm saying?
Are we gonna do it or we gonna do it? And then once the girl is saying, well, I like him now. I want to have him too, but I want you too. The nigga ready to die.
Yeah.
But he thought he was a polygamist.
Right.
He want to jump into something he knows nothing about really.
Right.
So when people see good parts of things, when something sounds good, they'll jump into it. That's all I'm saying. When you saying what you're saying right now, a lot more of that needs to be preached as of consciousness and levels of consciousness and certain things. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
people don't know that stuff.
Yes, absolutely. That's actually really the point. That's the point of why I'm here. So we can have these conversations because I do think that people think we just walk around just floating,
yeah.
just floating and just doing me.
Just doing
No,
whatever.
like being conscious is actually like very intense. It's very hard because
Right.
that means that you have to really be thoughtful about your life. I can't just say fuck it and just do things. Like there's an actual consequence spiritually for me
Right.
with everything that I do.
It's deep.
Also with having babies with people. So we're going to sum up this conversation about this meme because I want to get to talking about Star Status Store. But in the end, sir, we won't say that you're wrong. We won't say that you're right. But we'll say that this is a think piece that maybe we should have more conversations with people before we have children with them. Maybe we should re-examine our culture where we can be more accepting of the natural body.
Period.
You know, that I can't even believe we was talking about that. Anyway, and if you have a baby with a woman, like, come on, like, kiss her stretch marks. Like, she brought a baby in the world.
I feel you in that.
Stretch marks are sexy.
Not many people think so, though.
It's a pathway to heaven. Just
Stretch
saying.
mark? Wow.
Well, there's somebody for everybody.
It's
That's
so
right.
One thing I know, there's somebody for everybody.
There's somebody for everybody.
Yes. Saying.
That's a whole fact, and that was the point that I'm making about this
I've literally
conversation.
seen the ugliest person in the world, you know, my opinion. But, you know, with the second ugliest person in the world just the other day. So,
They found each other.
Found each other.
They found each other.
somebody
And-
for everybody.
and
Don't
probably-
worry about
and
it.
they
Your
probably-
person is coming. You don't have to change shit.
Yeah.
They probably think that they're the most beautiful people in the world.
Exactly. They probably think I'm ugly, you know?
They don't know yet.
They're like, this ugly nigga thing we ugly. Fuck you talking about?
Okay, right. Oh, ugly ass.
Ugly little boy.
It's funny.
Oh my gosh. So we are gonna change direction now. I have you on because if you could see the drip, if you could see what we wearing, people on the radio, y'all can't see, but we look fly as hell right now. I'm just saying, all day. And this is the creator, the co-creator of Athletics Sportswear. Can you tell everybody a little bit about Athletics Sportswear?
Sure. Yeah, Athletics, we're the world first brand to combine black history and sports apparel. So we took icons from our history, created sports logos around their accomplishments, and put them on sports apparel. Like this is our baseball jersey. You know, we have the stitching on there just like a Mitchell & Ness or a Nike or Under Armour or any NFL, NBA team that's out there. You know, but we decided to celebrate our, you know, heritage, our heroes, our ancestors, bring that energy from the past, bring it forward, you know, and shoot out to the future.
That's Sankofa energy. So, as far as your store, can you tell us about your store that you have?
Yes. So the store is in New Black Wall Street. It's in Stonecrest, Georgia. It's a redone version of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but it's all inside. There's like 100 vendors in there. There's food in there on the weekends. There's a grocery store in there, and there's developing amenities that's coming as well. My store's in there. Athletics combined with Enemy. Enemy that's Mimi. She has jewelry, crystal jewelry. She has individual crystals. She has crystal bracelets in there. We have herbal baths as well. We have sage spray. We have sage. You know, so that's why we kind of named it Star Status, because it was, you know, dealing with the crystals and a lot of the zodiac or astrology ties to the crystals, and then all my particular sportswear teams are from ancestors who are in the, you know, in the astral plane, you know, in the skies. Anyway, so the Star Status worked, you know, so it just made sense, and it was quick.
Yeah. Now, what I love about your brand is because, you know, most of the people that are supporting like Nike, Adidas, all of that are our people. But we rarely see our people represented in the actual clothing that we're wearing. And what made me gravitate the most was the Zulus first and foremost, because I'm Zulu. But to see Shaka on the back, to see the Dogon tribe, like to see things that sparked my want to learn more about myself, about my history, about my people. Like, I truly appreciate that. And I think it's really dope to be with New Black Wall Street. Like, that's a great merger. when you started, like, how did you get started with this concept? Like, because it's really groundbreaking. Like, it's unique. It's something that really we don't see a lot of. What got you started with this concept?
So we actually the first ones to do it. If anybody does it from this point, they're biting. Shark attack.
Bam.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
You heard it
basically
here
my
first.
my homeboy Pike, you know, the co-creator, he basically hit me with a logo, and then I looked at the logo, the Kamehameha Rules, and I had already been doing a few clothing lines previous to that, but it just never hit. It wasn't the social media era, and it just wasn't as universal as it could be without being on a superstar already. You know,
Right.
like you had to have a superstar wearing it.
Right.
You know, so he hit me with the logo, and then we just started going back and forth. You know, about different names, different colors, ideas, and stuff like that. We got hats, we got T-shirts. I vended at the Twin Pillars birthday party, Red and Blue Pill, 2016. And then it just kind of shot from there, you know.
Okay.
Then we got jackets, you know, and it just kept progressing and getting different items, and just kept meeting different people.
Right. So who all has worn your clothes?
It's a lot of people, you know, that I consider significance. Everybody who buys our clothes is important. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who supports, I'm very appreciative. You know, so I definitely don't know everybody.
I'm gonna pop his shit for him because he's had people like Erykah
being
Badu.
modest.
He's being very modest, like Erykah Badu, like Rakim, like Ajna Sarah, like Red and Blue Pill, like High Heels. I mean, really, the list keeps going.
High
like
heels wearing shit?
High Heels.
That's kind of
Woo!
crazy.
Looking good in it right now.
You know, I'm just saying, like, he
Big dog
is so low key and chill about his brand, and y'all got to tap in to the New Black Wall Street and go check out Star Status Store. Get your Dogon gear, get your Zulu gear, get your Panthers gear, and then actually, so I know that you got Tribal Marks coming. Those are the pants you're wearing, right?
Yeah.
So when is Tribal Marks coming? Tribal Marks is, if you're not 100% into the sportswear, Tribal Marks is like a great transition to a urban wear, but it's not necessarily sportswear. So it's still got the African feel, the tribal feel. I'm just describing it for you, but that's what I see. Like it's a little more of a contemporary. You know what I'm saying?
It's still really in the beginning, humble stages. I haven't really put a date on it per se. I'm just really, you know, creating at this point. It's a creative outlet to kind of see what different things I can make happen outside of, you know, what I normally do.
Yeah.
But I decided to give it a name and give it a direction, you know, just in case.
Just get it going.
Right.
All right. So yeah, definitely tap into Star Status Store at the New Black Wall Street. We're going to take a little break and we're going to play actually something from the homie Jeff. Yes, because he does music too, which y'all know.
Which song you trying to go into?
It is the first one.
Yeah, we on all streaming platforms.
That's very subjective. You
Right to
you
Bear
have
Arms,
to say a
Tontine
name.
North. Yeah.
What's the one?
I don't know which one. I sent her a bunch of them. I don't know
Well,
which one.
it's Sherman Helms and What's the Word?
What's the word?
That's her favorite. Okay.
Yes.
It
What's the
sounds like
word?
it. She's very excited. She's very excited.
We have a video for that one.
Yeah, that's what I put up there for. All right, so tap in. We are going to take a little pause, and we're going to have the Queen Sheba coming on in just a moment to bless us. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this right here. I've been waiting to talk to her like all day. All day, yes.
Okay, could you introduce this video?
Go ahead.
This is What's the Word, right?
What's the word?
Yeah, I mean, it's Right to Bear Arms. What's the Word? You know, me and my brother Tontine North. It's on our album. Well, we actually released 3 albums on the same day in 2020. 8/8, Lionsgate. And this is one of the songs from there. You know, we shot the video with the homie Jamal Milton.
That's up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's
What's the
up?
word?
Let's go. Let's go.
Lil nigga, what's the word? How about some shit that over the herb? Black top on a black top, ballin' some bird, putting in work. Bad bitch, never basic. They be on your timeline, checking your status. World traveling, exotic islands in the tropics. Wherever you want, you know you got it.
Why you shoot up the blocks when you can shoot the cops? Y'all crackers don't come to my height. After your murder, we dance like Fortnite. Tolerance at 0 for all you weirdos. I'm not in your class, I'm higher. I'm a superhero, dominance on fire. Raps like Thanos, snap sacred stones. Thunderclap, slap nuts. Catch you dirty sluts, convert them to clean queens. Nasty freaks in the sheets. Black girl magic, create a masterpiece. Positive energy, power release. Black family, numbers increase.
Lil nigga, what's the word? How about some shit that over the herb? Flat top on a black top, ballin' some bird, putting in work. Bad bitch, never basic. They be on your timeline, checking your status. World traveling, exotic islands in the tropics. Wherever you want, you know you got it.
You know I got it. If not, then I'ma take it. I can think quick in a sec, but my thoughts like a lecture. Never wanna be the leecher, quietly teacher. When I'm on a feature, call me ether. I gotta get out wearing all weather sneakers. I'm a creature, all the bazoo couldn't hold me. Now I'm lonely, on a different zone. It ain't safe at your home. I rain piss down from heaven while I'm standing on my throne. Let's smoke a bone. You should relax your tone. You ain't grown. Find someone who is. I'm a killer whale on a mission when it comes to this biz. So I ain't playing around with you kids. I got first dibs at spitting wigs. You filthy pigs, thought that you washed up. Cause your only reply is I'm not that type of guy for you to rely on. Stop singing your sad song.
Lil nigga, what's the word? How about some shit that over the herb? Flat top on a black top, ballin' some bird, putting in work. Bad bitch, never basic. They be on your timeline, checking your status. World traveling, exotic islands in the tropics. Wherever you want, you know you got it.
We are back. So we are back with the beautiful Queen Sheba.
What up, though?
What up? All right, Queen Sheba, please first and foremost tell everybody who you are in case they don't know what they already should.
Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that. My name is Queen Sheba. I am a Grammy-nominated spoken word artist. And recently, like not 10 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? 2021. You know, just last year.
Okay.
So I'm a DJ and event curator around the city. And I curate poetry events and live music.
Yes.
And I also do the booking for Apache Cafe in case any of y'all artists want to come through. Let me know. Hop in my DM and I give you a show.
Okay, for the legendary Apache Cafe, right?
Yes. Now, also, you did something really interesting this past year. Something different. What'd I do?
Something outside of the norm of
shit.
the...
Oh, Lord.
She was on the other show I was on previously.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really dope.
Thank you.
You ran for student council, right?
No, not student council.
I'm sorry.
Nigga.
I'm sorry.
She said student
Student
council.
council, like we still in high school.
School board. I'm
I
so
ran for the
bad.
Atlanta Public School Board for public office.
Y'all
as a
She
servant.
ran for class
Y'all.
president.
Class president.
y'all, get used to me. I be having these moments, y'all. Like, just let
Brain
me
farts or
have.
you high? Which one?
Just let me have.
That's
a
not the
moment.
first time you said
I
class
think I
president. What you
did.
said?
I
School
said
board.
student council.
Student
I
council,
keep saying
student
student council. It's school board.
It's school board.
But it was dope though, because I'm like, y'all, like Queen Sheba, she's for the people, right? She's an entertainer, she's an artist. It's not like she's just this person that just came from like the office and was like, let's get these children together. You know what I'm saying? She really like be out in the community, like bike riding and everything. Like it was really.
I went bike riding today.
Yes.
Shout out to Bonafide. Shout out to Dope Peddler. Shout out to Red Bike and Green. Shout out to APB. Shout out to all the black bike crews out there.
All of y'all.
We need bike riding, not motorcycles. We need like pedaling through the streets of Atlanta.
Yes.
Are you trying to be
For
safe?
exercise.
Exercise.
I need
for
to get a
real.
bike. I feel you.
Get a bike and
Get a
come
bike.
roll with us.
Yes.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
For real, Queen. Like, y'all, when this woman, like, I'm going to just stop. I'm gushing now because this vibe is great. But there was something I wanted to ask you.
Come on.
Because I'm thinking, you know, people, when I was talking about my show, and someone was like, well, don't call it conscious because that's going to turn people off. You know, when people hear conscious, that's going to turn them off.
It's going to turn the unconscious people. It's going to turn the not woke people off.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna turn off the people that are satisfied with their life where they at.
Right.
With coasting through off.
Okay, and that's why I'm like, I'm trying to pull the folks that are not, that have that aversion. And one thing I've noticed about the poetry community, you guys have really come in and made a name and place for yourself in Atlanta.
Oh,
and I feel like poetry is conscious. It's something that taps in. It's better than therapy. It's cheaper than therapy, what they say. Mm-hmm. But I wondered, what was it that you guys did? How did y'all do that? How were y'all able to come into a place where it's super hip hop? You know what I'm saying? It's super trappy, but y'all got y'all place. You know, you and all the OGs, you and Georgia, Abyss, Red, like.
I think that poets here in Atlanta, we're not pretending. You know, we're not making up stuff. We're talking about, you know, our real life. And a lot of us can rap and sing, and Abyss started off as a comedian, and then he was a rap. Kelly used to rap in the conscious hip hop group, and you know, now she's a singer songwriter and she raps, you know, in her songs. So it's not like, you know, we shun the hip hop artists. We're just like, hey, let's put us together on the same shelf. Like, you buy a hip hop album, buy a spoken word album, you know, because we're the voice of the people, and I think that hip hop a lot of times is fantasy based. No shade at all. Right. But I'm sure, and I hope and pray they're not killing as many people as they're talking about on their songs.
Right.
And sometimes
bang.
and I think sometimes, you know, they talk about things that they want to happen, just like we talk about things that we want to happen. We talk about change. We talk about how we want to be rich. They talk about how they want to be rich. And I think that ours is just more like, hey, you know, we're still eating these ramen noodles. Where's that cup at? I just saw. I love cup of noodles. That's a whole meal right here.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? That $5.99 chicken from Kroger, just cut it up and put it in there.
Yo, you already know.
Hello.
Okay, when I was eating chicken,
I do feel like I get where you're coming from. I mean, rappers, we do rap about that stuff too. But I think that there's a lot of rappers that are like spoken word artists. Mm-hmm. It's
like J. Cole.
It's just there are rappers
like Lupe Fiasco.
Right. It's a bunch of
like
them. Like
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But it's just some that do what you're saying as far as they over there with it. But what I think that can mix it up if you will is why you should try getting some of these artists on your albums.
Oh, I do. I have rappers on my album.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely have. And I own a show called Poetry versus Hip Hop that was in 50 cities before COVID, and we were invited to South Africa, to Canada, and to Jamaica, and I own Poetry versus Hip Hop. Like, nobody can do Poetry versus Hip Hop. I spent a lot of money trademarking it, and actually,
it's sad that I've never heard of that, and that's something that's going on.
It's
oh
amazing.
My gosh, yes.
It's amazing. Like, if I was to just put out in the wind that I'm bringing the show, but look, I'm getting chills. I actually am bringing Poetry versus Hip Hop back. I'm just waiting to find a permanent hip hop co-host, because when I go on the road, then I take the permanent hip hop co-host with me on the road, and a DJ that's available to do that. So I've been talking to a couple people. I've been talking to Shivy, actually. But yeah. And Jay Ivy. So Jay Ivy is actually a spoken word artist that's always been on the Kanye albums. He's on his new album, and he was on the first album, which made him super famous. And now Jay Ivy is asking for 30 bands to show up. So as a spoken word artist.
Wow.
So he's in the hip hop community too. And when we did Poetry versus Hip Hop, we had Jizza show up. We had people from Issa Rae show. What's it called? Insecure show up. I'm talking about we were everywhere. New York, New Jersey, every weekend, and then in Atlanta. If I was just blow in the wind that we're bringing Poetry versus Hip Hop back, we never had less than 500 people. Yeah. Never had less than 500. And we were in Memphis on Black Friday with 850 people in the building. And they don't know us. People just are like, oh, I love that concert. Look, I'm getting
it's chills. I know, because I'm like,
and people been asking me about bringing it back in. And rest in peace, my ex-partner, romantically and with Poetry vs. Hip Hop, passed away this year. So
shout out DJ Know That.
Shout out DJ Know That. So I was a little, hesitant about like, okay, how can I bring it back and then still, give to the community? So I decided that, all right, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna slow roll it because it's a lot of work. I know we're supposed to be talking about something else, but it's 5 poets, 5 MCs. It's a battle, and then
it's so that we gonna get to it.
And so I was like, all right, so I'm gonna start a foundation where we give $1,000 to a I don't want to use the word. So independent. Let's use the word. So an independent, either hip hop artists or poets, people that get nominated in whatever city we go to. So if I was to bring it back here, Apache's been saying, the owner's been like, yo, just bring it back, just do one, and then when it, just go back to City Winery, because we were at City Winery, like we couldn't fit the people in there, and it would sell out before the doors open, and we'd be like, yo, give us another date, and they just wouldn't have one, back to back, to do it. So I've decided that I'm gonna give away $1,000 for the foundation to an independent, either poet or hip hop artist every show. And that'll be part of our foundation and way to keep DJ Know That's name, kind of going in there. And to get a friend of mine has an organization that is bringing awareness to masculine presenting women who don't get breast exams because they just.
Oh, I never thought about that. Exactly. Because they don't want to identify as female, or they're like a touch me not.
Maybe. You know what I mean? We don't want to put everybody in that box.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. We don't want to put everybody in that box.
I'm not going to speak like I'm educated on it, but I'm just guessing.
It's just that I just think that there might be a stigma behind it, and everybody's a woman, and we just want to make sure that everyone gets tested. And men should get tested as well.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Man, Rich, you getting your breast
tissue. Yeah, you got tissue here.
Fuck you.
I dated a nigga with titties before, so
I don't have titties. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying
you still got tissue there, even if you had all muscle.
This is fat.
I like fluffy guys.
Right, I get it, but this is not fat. This is fat. This is not titties. There's men who have titties, and there's men who have fat. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying
that it wasn't you. It was her. So come on, I'm not gonna
get men should get breast exams in the area. If you got packs,
no lumps. Nothing.
Okay. Just get your girl to check you out. Your wife, whoever.
It's too close.
All of this, you gotta be in the shower doing like this.
It's all I feel is bone here. Sorry.
So So it's
Am I gonna get it?
So Daddy Cole is the one who has and that's a woman. Daddy Cole is a woman, and she's a masculine presenting woman who came up with she didn't come up with it, but she has a campaign, spearheading masculine presenting women to make sure that they get their breast exams.
So not to cut anything, but has there ever been a case of a man with breast cancer?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Easy to Google. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
That's new knowledge to me.
We're all
like, to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't know that.
See, so that's why it's important.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah. That's why it's important for them to get tested.
You need to get tested too, sir. Sir. How are you 35 yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, when you hit 35, then everybody should get tested.
I'm 42. I'm not 35 yet.
Oh my God! Everybody 35 and up. Well, just to say, DJ Know That wasn't even 40.
So, what happened?
She passed away of breast cancer.
Oh, for real? Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and she was a tomboy. So, and we found the lump. Yeah, we found the lump when we were at home, and then we were too busy. Don't ever be too busy. You feel a lump, just go fucking immediately. Go to the emergency room. Go now.
Don't procrastinate.
So for the people that don't know, right, when you find out, what happens after that? Like, what caused the death? Like, what happens with breast cancer?
So there are several types of breast cancer.
He's saying after y'all found the lump, and then y'all didn't go. What happened after? How did?
So we went. Unfortunately, like 5 months later, because she felt it grow. Right. Okay. So she was like, "Oh shit, it's getting bigger." Okay. And then she was trying not to freak out. And there's, I could just kick myself in the face for not.
Don't.
Thank you.
It's
one of those things.
It is. I know.
It is.
It always afterwards. You always be like, maybe I could have done this, and you have to.
It's both of y'all. Y'all both, Yeah. And it's like that with a lot of things.
Life.
Yeah.
That's how life
that's
is.
How we.
But that's why you're telling people don't wait.
And that's why I'm telling people go.
Yes.
And
she probably felt healthy and everything.
Oh man, she went alkaline immediately. We were already vegan, and so she went alkaline immediately. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cure this myself." She went to 2 cancer retreat places. She decided to do the intravenous naturopathic version, and it just wasn't enough to cure her type of breast cancer. So she had type 2, HER negative, triple something, very aggressive breast cancer.
Yeah. And that's why I'm asking, because people be thinking, oh, I can catch it. So I feel healthy. So I want to know what,
She felt healthy until she wasn't. And I'll just say that. Of course, everybody feels healthy.
And how long wasn't she healthy before it happened?
Before she passed away?
Yeah.
I would say about a year and a half. So, ironically, since we're getting into this, she did have breast surgery where she had the breast and about 27 lymph nodes removed on her right hand side. And at the time, they told her that they had gotten rid of all the cancer. This was January of 2021. January of 21 that she had the surgery, and then she went back to DJing. She's an amazing DJ. She went back to DJing, and then July came back full force, and they told her that it could eventually come back. But when you tell somebody eventually, who's already vegan and alkaline, has lost 100 pounds, doing everything right, they're thinking eventually is 10-20 years down the road. It was 6 months later, and at that 6 month time, then they gave her a death date. They were like, well, this cancer has come back full force, full-fledged. We don't know why. It's still considered breast cancer, but it had traveled to her liver, and I want to say another place. I don't want to say any place that I'm not sure of, but it was another.
But it traveled.
So it's still considered breast cancer.
So
her chest, and her liver.
Okay.
And so also breast cancer can get into your bones, and it's not considered bone cancer because bone cancer, if you have bone cancer, you touch something, your finger breaks. So it's not bone cancer, but the cancer has gotten into your bones from the breast cancer. And so she was dealing with all of that, and she just...
So in June, they just told her, look, this is how long.
Yeah.
And so when they do that, though.
Yeah. I think it makes it worse.
I think it makes you go into that.
Yeah, it stresses you out.
And how long? What date was that? Did they give her? Was it?
So she, at the time, she didn't tell me specifically. I guess she didn't want me to worry. But so June, July. So then later she posted on Instagram. How does it feel when you wake up the day after? So it was like September or something.
Right. Yeah.
It was like the end of September. So it was literally they gave her 2 months.
Right.
So they basically gave her 2 months. But then from there she went to Cyprus, which is close to Turkey, and they swore that this doctor could bring you back from the dead. But I guess it was so far gone at that point. She did go over there and get the treatment. When she came back, she couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair. It just declined really fast. And when she came back, it was like early October, and she passed January 3rd of this year. So 90 days later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends on you and your body.
Do you think that, like you just said, do you think that mentally when someone tells you a date that can mess you up?
Well, from my experience, I got sick in Africa when I was there in 2003. I don't know what it was to this day, right? But again, TMI, since we're already talking about health. What's the word? From every orifice possible, like throwing up, diarrhea. Like, I don't know what I got when I was in Ghana. I have no idea. But had someone told me that I had malaria, I probably would have died. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if that would have gotten to my head, that I have malaria, it would have been a wrap. Right. But nobody knew what it was when I got back. They were just like, well, here's some antibiotics, eat some crackers and juice and eat what you can. Right. But I had lost like 30 pounds in 3 weeks. Like, it was just coming out everywhere. So I do think that when people say this, this is what you have, then it fucks with you.
Yeah, it gets into your mind.
John Good has this amazing poem, and I'm not going to do the poem, but I'm going to mess up the message. But the message that I received is a poem about his grandmother and how his grandmother was the head of the household, and she never went to the doctor a day in her life, and then she was starting to feel ill, and everybody in the household was like, go to the doctor. So she went by herself, right? And I'm assuming this is based on a true story, and I just will never forget this. And then so she comes back from the doctor, and she doesn't say anything. She goes into cooking, like Sunday dinner. This is the whole poem, right, that he's doing. And then so everybody's kind of like, he gives the impression in the poem that everybody's like, so what did the doctor say? Like, you up here cooking chicken, like, you ain't saying nothing. And then so she comes, to the dinner table and says, that doctor tried to give me cancer. And I'll never forget that line because she didn't receive it.
Right.
In the poem, she was like, the doctor tried to give me cancer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I think in the poem, she lives another 3 to 5 years or something like that because she was like, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Basically. Right. And again, I'm getting chills again. Again, I'm messing up how the poem went, but that was...
But that's the message.
That's the message that I got in the premise. And I was just like, man, that is so true.
Yeah.
I say that because, I've been told, like, I have this fingernail wasn't supposed to ever grow back. You feel me? I've had other things, like, I have sarcoidosis. That's what Bernie Mac died from.
What is sarcoidosis?
Sarcoidosis. It's like the hardening of the tissue in your body. Oh. So my lungs, the tissue in my lungs was hardening. Wow. So the doctor was bugging because my intake when you breathe in, it was 60-something%, and my breathing out was also 60-something%. Wow. Of my lungs functionality, 60-something going in, 60-something coming out. Mm-hmm. So the doctor, but my overall was 80-something. Okay. He said that don't make sense. Because if it's 60-something one way and 60-something the other way, it's normally 60-something. Mm-hmm. So when he said it was 80-something, it kind of fucked his head up. Right. And then he told me about 90% of people. He gave me all these percentages of who survives from it because it was affecting my whole body, up from my heart to my lungs, my legs, my stomach. It affected me all the way up. You know what I'm saying? And when I was going to the doctor, they didn't know what it was. When they gave me a biopsy is when they was able to figure it out. But like I said, when they tell me stuff like you said about her, I don't give a fuck what they say. I just want to know what it is, and then I can move forward. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't accept it just the way they don't, the way she didn't.
Yeah.
And from my understanding of DJ Know That, that's just how she was. She was like, tell me what it is, and then so I can find the remedy. Yeah. So I can find the natural remedy.
Yeah, everything they've ever. I mean, for me, I let my body do it. The body's amazing. I feel like if you let the body work, it'll work. Mm-hmm. But I never, everything they've ever told me about me just never went the way they said it would. Yeah. And that's why I feel I
because you didn't believe it or receive it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what they say. The body will heal it. They gave me, I have sleep apnea. They gave me a CPAP machine in 2011 and said if I don't use it, I'm going to die in my sleep, basically. Mm-hmm. I used that shit once or twice. I felt like I was suffocating when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never
it made it worse for you.
Never use shit again. You understand what I'm saying? Ever. Yeah. So my thing is I just feel like your body will find ways to adapt to it. If you do anything that's going to assist the body will start to rely on that assistance. Mm-hmm. And then it will break down because now it's relying on something and it's allowing that to dictate what's going to happen. Exactly. And that might not work.
So can I ask a very, very, very sensitive question? So how do you feel about eating meat versus plants? And I don't have an answer. I'm just asking. I don't, because I went when DJ Know That passed away, I ate every chicken possible. Like, I'm eating chicken. I'm going back. You know? Like, I'm going back to chicken. This shit is delicious. You know, so I'm just asking.
Right. I feel like you should be able to eat whatever you want. I feel like our bodies, you know, will adapt to whatever we're doing.
Okay.
As a people, we've been eating meat for too many years for our body not to have evolved to be able to eat meat now. So although they say we I guess whatever we're supposed to be eating plants and stuff, I think that's far
plants
gone.
And fish, I think.
Well, I think that's far gone. I think our bodies have adapted now, just like we're not looking like monkeys. We're not walking. You know, we're not the cavemen anymore. So our bodies have adapted to the new things that we're eating now, and you know, it's that the human body is
we both
fucking.
Need a charger.
I know, right?
The human body is amazing. So I just feel like it has adapted, and if you started out your life eating meat and then you try to quit, you might be doing more harm by trying to be a vegan now, unless you started.
Well, the
as
thing is, you actually.
That's how I feel.
Oh, cool.
Actually, there actually are studies now that you have every blood type actually has a certain way they're supposed to eat. So really,
so mine is supposed to be red meat and red wine and nothing white.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, it can be harmful. I know that most of us in the community, most people are plant-based or they're vegan and they don't eat meat. Like I only eat salmon, and I eat salmon for my health because I'm anemic, and and I'll have bouts where I'm so tired, like I can't get out the bed. Salmon has those oils, those fatty oils. It also has that B complex, so it gives me energy. So medicinally,
and then they say don't eat too much of that because it has
the mercury.
Mercury in it. And then I'm like, well,
y'all can't. I'm gonna get it coming and going. What you want to do?
The microwave.
You damned if you do. You damned if you don't.
But so really, it's just about what is good for your health, what works for your body. And there's some people that need to eat meat because of your blood type. There's some people that shouldn't eat meat because of your blood type.
Right.
So really, we should be eating to our blood type.
I think the A's are the only ones that are supposed to be vegan. I think that's right. So let me ask you one more sensitive question. So what about
we getting into it?
Possibly shedding some healthy pounds to help your sleep apnea.
I've already done that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
What I've started doing is a complete water.
Talking about weight is so. I'm just asking.
That's
don't
not
run me over with your car.
Yeah, no, it's really no.
That's not sensitive to me.
Okay.
I'm doing water diets now,
Oh,
where
nice.
I go 7 days with nothing but water, and I feel the best now. I lost a lot of weight doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The first time I did it, I lost like 27 pounds in 7 days.
Oh, wow.
Strictly water, nothing else, nothing but water. No food, no fruits, no nothing, just water. And the thing about that is I've learned from people that when you let your body eat off its own fat, that's the healthiest way to eat. Because that's what happens after 24 to 30 something hours. Your body starts to feed off itself. Your liver shuts down. Some of the organs shut down, but it shuts down in a good way. Because you know how the liver works with the glucose and everything. Yep. Once it has enough, it stops. I don't need no more. Boom. Once it puts enough in the blood, it stops. I don't need no more. Boom. Then once all of that stops, it's like, okay, now we got to eat some of it because it's too much. Right. You know what I'm saying? So once it starts feeding off itself, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Then I used to fall asleep during the day. I don't fall asleep no more. You know what I'm saying? I used to I fall asleep every time I eat. To be honest with you, if I eat something a lot, I'm dozing off.
I didn't kick in, huh?
Yeah, but I feel like that's bad. That something in me said that's bad. That you fall asleep.
Oh, that your food should energize you rather than put you down.
Right. So what you saying is right. And honestly, I don't snore as loud as I used to. All of that stuff kind of went away as far as sleep apnea when I lost the weight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I understand what sleep apnea is. All it is that when you sleep, your throat closes because you're so like I got so much fat around my throat. What happens is as I'm sleeping, your throat relaxes. Everybody's throat relaxes and they sleep.
Right.
And if you have too much fat, what's going to happen is it's going to close. So what I started doing was sleeping on my stomach. So now my throat hangs. That makes your throat hang down, and you don't snore.
Right.
So women that I people know. Oh, get on your stomach. Because then I won't snore.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
Your girl thing was like, get on your stomach.
Mind your business.
You open the gate. You open the gate and say, my women,
And I'm like, he's trying to like fix it.
You're right. My girlfriend.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is,
he has a girlfriend, ladies. Hands
goals.
off.
Goals.
Hands.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
My girlfriend.
All right, that was the subject. The subject was. But that's how it works. Sleeping on your stomach, But honestly, yeah, losing the weight helps. So I appreciate you asking that question.
Yes, and Ashe for the discipline.
Thank
All
you.
right, we could talk forever. I swear, I love this woman. But we have a goal here. We are talking about a really dope event that is coming on June 2nd. That's Thursday, June 2nd.
This Thursday.
This Thursday.
This Thursday.
Rough Language. So we are going to be at Rough. I said we like I'm going to be there.
You better be
but
there.
I'm there. I'm
No, why you ain't going to be there?
I'm going to be in Miami.
I'm going to be in Miami the next day.
Oh, I'm going for a cannabis conference. I'm going for work. I'm not going for play. All I
There's
do
the
is
Kings
work.
of Poetry
Well,
show
people
on
play
Saturday
with
night.
them.
You need to come.
Where? In Miami?
In Miami. That's
Oh,
where
my God.
I'm flying down to Miami Friday night. Her name is Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood. Okay, I've heard of this. Oh, I'm totally going.
Yeah, go.
Yes.
Yes.
Give me the info.
Okay.
Oh, look at me going to Miami. I got places to go in Miami. What y'all talking about?
Oh,
I'm not just Atlanta.
now it's not for business. Huh?
Now it's not for now.
A minute ago, I'm going for
Look,
business.
y'all, it's recorded now. You can't write off shit.
Until it was all boring business till she told me I had a thing to go to. So I'm like, let me go. And it's poetry too.
And it's all guys. And it's going to be great.
Oh.
Kings of Poetry.
Ooh, the King.
Red Storm is going to be there. Dichotomy is going to be there.
Red is going to be there. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? That's so funny. I wanted to play a clip from Hip Hop versus Poetry. It was his that I found.
Oh, good.
Look at the alignment, the universe.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap in. So, no, but we are talking about what's happening on Thursday. Can you give a little bit more information about Rough Language?
Yes. So Rough Language is, and I mean, I know we on Black Ink Radio. And probably none of y'all care. That's on my live feed anyway.
That is not true.
We totally care.
No. Well, let me finish my
talking about the
There was a
audience.
comma.
Okay.
No, but I'm sure none of us care about the name. But just sometimes people are like, oh, the language is going to be rough. It might not. But I just like the name, Rough Language.
Okay.
Oh,
dope.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Black
That's all
people,
I
they
wanted
ready
to
for the
say.
bluff.
Yeah,
The rough.
yeah.
I get you.
It could be or could not be. It just, whatever.
We like rough language over here.
Yeah, okay, good. So Rough Language
Pretty
is
much.
a poetry slam. And the reason I like to throw poetry slams instead of readings or an open mic, not that I don't do an open mic, I've been doing an open mic for 14 years, but I like to curate poetry slams because it's a competition and they come with their best work. And so if you've never seen spoken word, which I'm still finding people in 2022 that have never been to a spoken word event, or they're leery about it, they're like, I don't know that poetry shit, it ain't for me. Nah, that shit hits. It is lit. It is fun. Right. It's exciting. It's high energy. It's dope as fuck. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've been doing spoken word for 20 fucking years. If it wasn't sustainable and amazing, I would not be doing it. I don't slam anymore, not because I don't want to, just because a lot of them are shutting down. And of course, COVID, took a few out, but City Winery allows me to have a spoken word poetry slam there once a quarter, and it's dope as hell. And I set it up so you get a whole music concert for the first hour, so people want to come. Grown is sexy. And then the second hour and a half is 10 poets. I usually only have 8 because I ain't trying to hear all that shit. And that's straight up. I'm not trying to hear it because you think about it, you got 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So that's 10, 15, that's 18 fucking poems. You know what I mean? You usually only have, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I have to, like the second round, I have to count down with the audience so they stay engaged.
Because they be trying to go over, but sometimes the poets, they be trying to go over with they slam.
Nah,
poems.
it's 3 minutes.
You be like,
cut
it's
it
3
out.
minutes.
3 minutes.
They can determine something so or it can be 3 minutes to make it seem like it's 6 minutes.
Yeah,
it's true, and that's why it's a competition. Come with your best shit, because the prize is $1,000 first place.
That's a lot.
Winner take all.
Period.
And the second prize is a surprise cash app from the audience. So I came up with this about a year and a half ago. So I give the audience 60 seconds to send in a cash app. And so sometimes the second prize is more than $1,000.
Oh.
So in January when we had, and I always have big name headliners.
Wait, what's the most cash app?
$1,100.
Whoa.
So January was $1,100. Yeah.
Nice.
So usually it's around $700. Yeah. And I usually don't have third prize at all. And I usually don't only have 2 people in the final round, but I was doing a live, and a friend of mine who sells homes, she's a real estate agent, Keisha Keys, shout out to her. She said she was going to donate $300 to Third Prize, because I was like, shit, Third Prize getting nothing. Thank you. Hold up, bye.
Okay.
Getting their t-shirt and keep it moving.
Right.
But she giving away $300. I was like, shit, that's what's up. So it's a lot of fun. And so in January, we had Tyler Chronicles. We had a band and somebody else, and I forgot already. Mm-hmm. But on Thursday, we are having, our headliner is Rodney Perry, an amazing comedian seen worldwide on everything, Comic View, of course, BET. I mean, he's done Netflix specials, everything. And then Kelly Love Jones here is going to do a couple songs. She's visiting from New Orleans. And then we have a band. Her name is Esther Fitz, and she's from Ohio. I saw her at open mic, and she's fucking amazing. And then we have Ashley Hayes, who's going to do 3 poems. So that's your first hour. You get like a whole concert the first hour.
That's nice.
And then the second hour and a half is the Poetry Slam, and it goes by like that. And for those of you who do know me, like I crack jokes all the time. I'm halfway a comedian anyway, but at the Poetry Slam, I can't crack jokes on anybody's poem to sway the judges. And I even pick judges ahead of time. So we got
Who's the judges?
So we have Talam Acey is a judge.
Okay.
Milk the Poet is a judge.
Dope.
My homegirl, Erin Parks, who is an educator for autistic children who doesn't give a fuck about poetry, and which is great. That's perfect.
Yeah, you need an unbiased opinion.
Like, you know, and then my homeboy, who's a reggae artist, his name is Rasta Funk. And then missing somebody is 5 guys and a girl. Who am I missing? Is Milk Talam. Oh, and Jason B. Allen, who is also an educator and ran for school board as well.
Right. I feel like that name is familiar.
Yeah. So I have a mix of judges, and the judges score from 0, meaning it is the worst poem ever in life. Your mama should have swallowed. How dare you write this poem? You fucking suck. All the way to 10.
Did you just say your mom should have swallowed?
Yes.
Like,
your mama
I
should
was like,
have swallowed.
wait. So how do people become part of the slam? Is it, have y'all already picked the contestants, or is it something that they can enter in to be part of?
No, you can't enter in the day of. And so City Winery likes to have their show booked 60 days in advance.
Okay.
So for the first month, I just tell them who the headliners are. And then for the next couple of weeks, I put it out on Facebook, you know, on all the socials, like, hey, I'm doing a slam. I got 8 spots. And then there was people who were kind of coming and going, and then somebody just hit me up while we were on this live right now talking about all the spots for Thursday. And to me, I always like to book the poets ahead of time, because the more people you get to come and cheer for you, the better chance you have to win.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes your poem could fucking suck, but if you got your whole goddamn family there screaming and yelling, it definitely influences the judges.
Yes.
So I always pre-book the poets, but for those of you all who want to get in the next couple ones, I'm having a $500 erotic poetry slam at Apache in August, and then $5,000 3-day tournament in October.
Whoa. Okay,
yes.
for the queen. All right, queen.
You gonna do it big.
Yes. All right, so we
come through, right? Exactly.
I'm really here. The erotic $500 erotic poetry slam is gonna be crazy. I already know it.
It is definitely gonna be crazy. Anybody on here that want to donate a couple extra $100 to make it 1,000, so we can break it down first, second, third, that'd be great. But I got 500 on it.
Okay, I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
All right, so we about to head out. I want to just any closing words about the event, how they can get involved, how can they get tickets, all of that stuff.
So you can go to City Winery's website. Obviously, we're in the week of, so it should be right up on their first page. There are several City Wineries. There's one in New York and Chicago. So put in City Winery Atlanta. It'll pop right up. And then just click on this Thursday, June 2nd. Doors and dinner and the DJ are at 6:30. And then we start the show right at 8 o'clock because we have a hard curfew of 11 p.m. We got to get out of there.
Oh, okay. So no CP time.
Nah.
Okay,
don't
so
be CP.
we on white folk time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you got to go.
And white folks run that shit.
Yeah.
And they be texting me through the show like, are we on time? And they got their own stage manager backstage like, Sheba, we need to start the show.
Girl, bye.
I'm like, okay.
Time is right. But you like, well, I'm getting my checks, so let me be on time.
Exactly. So we definitely don't want to pay them for union time over. So I did bring Kelly Love Jones And she's going to be one of the openers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you going to bless us with something before we go?
Yeah.
We're going to leave out with, you can introduce what we're going to leave out with. And also, how do we follow you, Miss Sheba? How do we follow you, Kelly?
All my social media is The Queen Sheba. I would love to host or DJ your next events. And if you're interested in donating to or sponsoring, I don't even mean donating, sponsoring, I definitely have a cult-like following and would love to get your business out in front of people. So hit me in my DM and I'd love to meet you.
Yes, and then also one more special shout out to my guest co-host that was here earlier, Mr. Jeff Hassan. Tap into Star Status Store at the New Black Wall Street. What are the hours? What are hours to go tap in? Go shop. Wednesday to Sunday, 11 to 8. Tap in New Black Wall Street. I really want to go up there and just go live from there one day and just walk around and see the merchants. All right, Miss Sheba, go ahead and introduce what we are going to hear.
Oh Lord, let me find it.
She like, look.
I know. Oh, well, boom. Hello. I love when my Apple connects to everything. I know. I'm supposed to have this memorized by Thursday. It's only a page. I've been busy, y'all. I've been busy.
Life be like that sometimes.
It does.
So yeah, Sheba and I are doing this song. We wrote this song. We're doing it at actually my show that's coming up too on January 10th and 11th.
Show the camera.
Or June 10th?
June.
10th.
I've been saying January too.
June 10th and 11th.
I don't know why I've been saying January.
And so it's an all immersive concert. We got spoken word. We got dancers. We got John Good coming and do a piece. Tiff Good on the band.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what's up. So
really
June
dope.
10th and 11th at Sanctuary Studios. That is 1041 Moreland Drive. 8 o'clock. Admission is $30. Tap in with Kelly Lovejoy.
You better have a $30 admission.
Dig. Get your
Period.
money.
So this song's called Right in Front of Them. Ready? You ready,
Yep.
Sheba?
I'm ready. Is it called that? I always call it They Just Don't Know.
That's right in front.
Oh, right in front. Okay.
That's
It's her song. I've been calling it the wrong thing.
She said it's called this. It's my song. But it's my song.
This is what I say they gonna
Right. Okay, go ahead.
spit.
When I see my baby walking down the street, sure look good to me. They just walk right by you with their noses to the sky. Your beauty they don't see. I hope that you know that you're a diamond in my eyes. If I were blind, you'd give me sight. And they just don't know what's right in front of them. And they just can't see what's right in front of them.
They ain't looking if you ain't plastic. Butt lifts, tummy tucks, botched surgeries, and a gastric. But they just don't know each snip puts you closer to your casket. I love you cause you're natural. Shea butter and a passport. Sunny Sundays at Piedmont Park, people watching and basking. A checkered blanket and a picnic basket. Collecting the bottle caps from our red rocks, we lifted and we laughing. Social media models, psh, they can have them. I love you cause you're godly. My main and my side piece. Your energy lives inside of me. An entrepreneur and you classy. Nurturing and single parenting, sheesh, you inspiring. They missing the magic cause they looking for your tangibles. Let them not speak. You could take my last name and my house keys. On God, your bop is sexy. They ain't gotta see you. It's the privacy for me. And they just don't know you've always been 2 light years right in front of them.
And they just can't see what's right in front of them. Ooh. Yeah, yeah.
Watch out, rappers, I'm coming for you.
Hey. From the first moment that I saw you walking down the street, my heart skipped a beat and I began to speak another language, trying to figure out what my heart talking about. Maybe it's Spanglish or mi amor. I adore everything about you. Even more, you ignore those that walk around you. I am floored, floating on cloud nine, 9 lives, our eyes meet and I seek to find where my life ends and ours begins. I pretend that we've met before on some distant land, hand in hand, chosen sand. I believe that I'm your biggest fan, and what more can I say other than, can we spend some time? Let's make plans so that God can laugh at us. Now I sound backwards, excuse me if I'm too forward, but your aura feels familiar, like a fond memory, like a good movie, like a love story, like a ooh, they just don't know what's right in front of them, and they just can't see.
They just can't see
what's right in front of them. They just don't know.
They just don't know
what's right in front of them, and they just can't see what's right in front of them.
Pew, 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 pew. So stop looking for grass is greener. You got somebody already. Stop it.
Wait a minute. Yo, can we pause for the alignment real quick?
The grass can be greener, but it might not grow.
Hello.
Okay.
It might be fake grass. Hello. It might be turf.
Let me tell you before we go. The alignment was because before you came, the topic I had chosen, it was a man who wrote in saying that he was gonna leave his girl because after having the baby, he didn't like her stretch marks, and he asked her to get surgery, and she refused. So when you opened up with the natural, I was like, you see how the alignment be working with this Oracle Connect. All right, y'all. So that is, I'm telling you, y'all about to see this Oracle stuff be for real. So that is our show for today.
Hey, Rodney Perry tapped in. What up, Rodney Perry?
All right, then. So yeah, that's our show for today. Thank you guys for listening to Oracle Connect. Next week, we will be on with Red Pillar. He will be coming on and we'll be talking about some healing. We're going to talk about some new music that he got coming out. It's going to be live. So check us out every Monday, 8 p.m. Black Ink Radio. Download the Black Ink Radio app to tap in. You want to listen and ride to us so that y'all can listen and then y'all got to watch. Y'all could just take us anywhere you go. All right, y'all. So that's our show for today. Peace and love and Black Power.
Thank y'all so much.
Next week. Thank
See
you
y'all
so much.
on Thursday,
June 2nd. What is it? I always say
City Winery.
City Winery, Atlanta. Also June 10th, June 11th. Tap in.
You are now tuned in to Black Ink Radio.
Turn up.